We'd like to thank our supporters, OG Haulage
and Coolridge Heating and Air Conditioning for their ongoing and continued support of our podcast and helping us make this possible.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Nice work. Welcome to Get Outdoors with Drew and Cam. Welcome, Cam.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We've stopped counting now.
I think we said that last podcast
I think so too.
I've run out of fingers, that's why.
Same here. You don't want me taking my boots off either.
No. If we sound a bit different, Cam and I are actually struggling with a little bit of the flu side of things. Cam's sore throat. I'm just getting beat up by it.
Don't know what's going on, but we'll push through.
It's that country virus you keep bringing back here to the city.
I think it's the city drifting down our way. That's the problem.
Yeah, right.
See, everybody gets sick after the long weekend.
That's true.
Yeah, because you've all bought it from Melbourne.
Oh, please.
High-rise Petri dish.
Best thing about Gippsland's coming back this way.
Whoa.
Hey.
Well, she got in a lot of trouble yesterday, didn't? Was it yesterday or today they found her guilty? The old mushroom chef.
Oh, righto.
So,
yeah, she's guilty. She's sitting in the hole waiting to find out what's going on, though.
No. Convicted on all counts, apparently.
Yeah. But as in now she's got to be sentenced for
and go
however
from there.
long she gets kicked. So
yeah.
Fair enough.
Moving on for this one. Bit of another fun one.
Yeah, man. I've brought the trip secretary with me.
The whiff. The
Not
whiffy.
The trip secretary. The Minister of War, Finance and Fun.
There we go.
Well,
G'day, Viv, and welcome back.
Thanks.
You had so much fun doing the last one, you wanted to do another
That's
one.
exactly right.
Hey?
That's exactly right. You guys just worked out that you had something good, so you invited me back.
We had to. You're the one with all the knowledge.
That's it. You've got the book, the great book of the Cape.
The travel Bible.
You keep talking about our Cape trip, Cam, so I guess it's about time we talk about it.
I was pushing to make this happen, and getting the pair of you together to do it is the way to do it.
This is going to be a short podcast because I can do it in a nutshell. We drove 10,000 kilometres, spent a hell of a lot of money, and made great memories. There you go. Thanks for listening, guys.
Well, there goes all my other questions.
I'll answer your questions, Cam.
Look, it's one I've been wanting to do, and it is a serious trip, so it deserves at least an episode to 2 episodes, because I don't know what sort of rabbit hole we're going to go down with this. The questions, the answers, because I've got the pair of you to ask the questions, the pair of you both to answer, and I'm expecting a different answer from both.
We could talk about this for hours,
That's
though.
correct.
That's the problem.
That's the whole thing, though. It was a once-in-a-lifetime trip that you have managed to do as a family. You know, there's a lot of pre-planning involved.
Yep.
Budgeting and all that sort of stuff. So that's where I'm going to start off with. What sort of planning did you have to undertake before the trip, and how far out from that were you planning?
Yeah, I was just going to look at Drew and say, I reckon we started planning for this about 12 months out easily.
Oh,
if
yeah,
not
it would
more.
be. Yeah.
We joined Facebook pages.
YouTube got a hiding.
Yeah, we watched, I reckon, every YouTube video we could find on Cape York, and everyone that had done it differently. And
there was no 2 YouTube videos were the same, though.
No, but it was good to be able to pick out bits that we said,
True.
we would do that, or no, we wouldn't do that, or we wouldn't take that, or we should take that.
Gives you a bit of an idea on locations and what to pack, what not to, what's worked, what hasn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I sat with the map for weeks and weeks and just looked at routes to take and how long it was going to be between places. And
it's just at the very top. That's all you have to
all,
do is aim for there. And
go north.
Aim north and keep going.
There was a couple of considerations within that, though, was A, the distance, because we've got 2 kids.
Yep.
And a mate of ours that came with us, he had his son with him as well. So there was trying to not keep them in the car for, a ridiculous amount of time. I think we topped out at 12 hours one day.
That was our biggest day.
Yeah.
Your biggest day.
But that would have been hard because we had Nemo come along as well, and he was solo.
Yeah, so he needed rest breaks as well.
Yep.
So pushing it, we had sort of made the decision, I think, to push it as quickly as we could.
To get up there,
to North Queensland.
Yep.
And take our time.
Get to point A.
Yeah. Get to the good bit, take our time for the good bit, and then sort of... So I think we ended up taking a week to get to, Mission Beach area, North Queensland. And then we had about 3 weeks on the Cape itself. And then I think we took about a week and a half to 2 weeks to get home back down the coast.
Yep.
So all in all, the planning for that was a little bit tedious, let's say. It wasn't tedious, but making sure you've got places to stop that have facilities. Like, you know, the aim was to free camp for some of it, but we also needed to stop for washing. We needed to stop to restock food and all of that sort of stuff.
Well, fuel was probably the biggest jump that we needed to actually pay attention to.
Yeah.
Having not done it, not knowing the kilometres between fuel stops, what was available.
Vehicle weight even comes into that. And what
100%. How hard you're working it.
Yeah. Yep. So that free camping, where were you finding the free camps? This is something else that the listeners can actually go, you know, we're planning to do something similar. This does help us with budgeting.
Yep.
If we can free camp X amount of it.
We didn't free camp until we got to North Queensland.
Yep.
We used Hip Camp a bit as well, which is a camping website of private properties.
Yep.
So you book in with the property owner, and that limits your numbers of people that are on site, and it's usually got facilities.
And you're guaranteed a spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you booked it.
So from that perspective, the trip up to North Queensland itself was hip camps, caravan parks, and they were all one-nighters.
Yeah, just moving on.
Yeah,
just a stop point
roadhouses,
overnight.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But from that point on, we had a really good mix of free camps and caravan park type things. But when you're in North Queensland, a caravan park's not like we know a caravan park. It's very different.
How so?
There's no... you have your set spot, don't get me wrong, but it's not your concrete pad kind of caravan park. It's
Red
dirt. It's dirt. It's trees everywhere. Very casual, very relaxed, kind of... really nice. They're the kind of caravan parks I'd prefer to stay in, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think the longest we stopped in a place was probably Punsan. And we actually ended up extending our stay there because we were so happy.
Yeah.
Cancelled a few other things on the way back down to give ourselves a bit more time at the top.
There. Yep.
And that's the other thing about, even although I'm sitting here with a book that's got, I'd say, probably 50 to 60 pages of planning in it, that was not set in concrete. We were able to make changes along the way.
Those sort of trips, you do make it so you've got some flexibility,
Yeah.
don't you? Yeah.
It
Yeah.
gave us a guide. Like, if you have a look in the book, Viv's done a map area for where we're running through which towns. So from town to town, 4 hours, 6 minutes, how many kilometres roughly. We weren't trying to aim more than, because the 12 hours were, where was that? That was...
The 12-hour day we ran from Longreach out to Mission Beach in North Queensland.
That's it. And we knew there was a couple of surveys in between, stuff like that. Phil and I had long-range tanks where Nemo still had a standard tank. So we had to be aware that he could get about 600 Ks out of a tank, where Phil and I were 800 to 1,000 Ks out of a tank.
Right, so on that quickly, rattle off the vehicles that were in the group.
Phil had a 79 Cruiser, twin cab.
Yep.
With a rooftop.
Mortgage on wheels.
Potentially. My 09 Ranger with the canopy on the back.
Yep.
And everything inside there. And then Nemo had he's still got 2012 Ford Ranger with a canvas canopy on the back.
Yep.
So he had the back seat, passenger seat, everything available to him. And the tray as well. So we just, him and I spent a few nights trying to work out what was going where. So if we hit bull dust, whatever, it wasn't going to fill up his tray with all his food and clothes and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, it worked out well.
Right, beautiful. So moving on from that one, I've got to go with we discussed it, your biggest was the 12 hours. So how did you go with the distances and the duration?
Yeah.
Did the kids get restless at the 3 hour mark? I know your kids travel fairly well in the car.
Yeah, luckily they do.
But
We've run up the border a fair few times since the girls have been born.
Yep.
So there's, 4 to 5 hours on an average run for us. And the girls, have been brought up with it. So they're quite used to it.
Yeah.
It was a difficult one for me because I'm very much not a screen parent. I don't like, they've got, screen times and devices and all that, but I don't love them sitting on them. Someone said to us before we left, just remember, the majority of this trip is for you guys, as in the adults. It's not for the kids.
Yeah.
You're taking them with you, so don't try and enforce this. You must look out the window and remember everything you're seeing kind of thing.
Yep.
So they had their phones, they had their Nintendo Switch things, and we just...
some peace of mind and some peace
Yeah.
of time for yourself. At the same
But the
time,
other thing
doesn't
you did as well, Viv, you made that like an activity book with
I did, that's
diary
right.
part.
Yep.
So we'd stop somewhere for smoko, lunch, whatever. The girls had to pick out favourite flower or how many yellow cars they saw or blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that was a puzzle book. I did make them a puzzle book.
Puzzle book.
But I also made them a journal that they had to fill out every day.
Yep.
So when we set up, the girls would sit down for about 10, 15 minutes and just, today I really enjoyed X, Y, Z. So it took a few days of pushing to get them to do it properly. But once they did it, they started paying attention to things that were going on.
I think they realised it was making them watch. So they had to tell us what towns we'd been through, like pick 2 towns that we'd driven through. So you've got to be looking at some point.
Yeah.
What was today's weather? So they've got to be paying attention to that. Where are we heading to? What's our destination? There was a whole bunch of stuff. How did you feel about today? What was your favourite part? All that sort of thing. So
it sounds like a lot of the questions I'm looking at I've written down for this one.
Viv also got Gemma to keep track of the fuel.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Gem's job, was the fuel consumption.
So how many kilometres, and because she's really good with maths, we got her to work out how many Ks per litre we were using, things like that. So I kept her, every time we filled up, with, Dad, how many litres? And I'm like, oh, it's 100 litres in there. Yep, cool. Oh, you did 930 kilometres on the last tank. I'm like, you beauty. Thanks, mate.
She'd get really annoyed when you didn't keep the receipts for it. She'd get back in the car and she'd go, where's my receipt, Dad? She'd go, oh, Dad.
Yeah, it's not the sort of place you can whip your phone out and take a photo of the Bowser, is it?
Well, we ended up doing that.
Yeah, in the end we did.
How many litres, how much it was per litre and stuff like that, because a lot of the surveys you stop at, there's 2 or 3 people behind you at all times waiting to get diesel.
Yeah.
So...
And the kids have also not seen diesel at the prices we were paying for it.
I was about to say, do you remember the most expensive diesel you bought?
I reckon it was nearly $3.
Was that around $2.80?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I have a feeling that was it was definitely up on the Cape.
Yeah.
Han River Roadhouse was pretty pricey, but also heading out towards Weipa was pretty pricey as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's sort of your last points of contact, isn't it, before you actually start pushing up into the coast?
Yeah, for sure.
So they're supply and demand, and guess what?
Yep.
They've got it.
We supply it, so you'll demand it.
You will demand.
100%.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's great, the activity books. I really like that idea because I'd never thought about doing that. I think my kids would hit me with it. But, that's all part of your pre-planning, realistically, isn't it?
Exactly.
So,
it makes the trip easier for everybody.
Yeah.
We had a list of podcasts to listen to, things like for them to enjoy, like Dr. Carl. He does a really good podcast, and there's lots of fun stuff for the kids in that. So little bits here and there. They had their own music. They had all their books to read, and so
gives them a bit of their time in the back seat too.
Yeah.
And because a lot of the area doesn't have internet access either, even if the girls wanted to go on their phones, they couldn't. So we let them bring their switches. So we'd give them an hour. Like, we're talking highway, hours and hours and hours of just straight highway.
Yep.
And we're picking out pigs and we're picking out goats on the side of the road. And the girls are like, what? And we're like, see ya, we're past about 110 kilometres an hour.
Back there.
Yeah, they were back there. That's it. Just see that? Nah. Where? Back there.
Yeah.
Right.
And as a mum who wanted the kids to take in everything they possibly could, when you would point things out to them and, they've got their head stuck in the phone, it took me days and days and days to get past that and just remember that those kind of things are not massively important at the time. It's the big memories of us spending time together and, the big things that we were doing, like once we actually get to the Cape and we're right up at the tip.
Yeah.
Those are the things that they'll remember. Seeing a pig out of the window or watching a goat and its family is probably not rating terribly high for them.
No, that's right. And I mean, you did see plenty of pigs at the pub that you stopped at.
Yeah.
There was a local comp or something on, was there?
Up in Weipa. You're jumping way ahead. Do you want to jump up to there?
I'm just bouncing back and forth. I'm looking at the pig jaws on the bar at the moment.
We turned up at Weipa and we were camping virtually on the beach.
Yep.
And the cabin that was next to us, 2-story cabin, there was a gentleman up there playing a guitar. And I'm like, hey, mate, do you know the Angels? He's like, yeah, man. You ever going to see your face again? And he's like, yeah, man. So he's playing it acoustically. I'm like, this is fantastic. This girl comes out and goes, oh, you guys coming to the pub tonight? We're like, what for? Oh, it's the annual pig hunt. I said, oh, this kind of makes sense. As we're driving into Weipa, you've got 76, 79 cruisers just going past you one after the other. There would have been over 100 of them.
Yeah.
And they had massive toy hauler trailers on the back with like razors and Can-Ams and all this kind of stuff, all the quads.
Stuff, yep.
And they're balling it down this road. We're coming in, bumping up and down this road and going, 80 Ks, yeah, this is good, man. They're going past us like we're standing still. Coming to town, yep, sure enough. Went up to the pub and, yeah, sure enough. That night was the weigh-in for all the pigs the boys had got from the previous morning. And we're like, this is cool. Hung around there, ended up at the pub, and there were thousands upon thousands of dollars of prizes for the largest pig, most pigs.
Now we're talking about Yeti and Waco fridges and like serious prizes.
Big brand name prizes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was gold. And even then they had a special section for all the kids. They get them to go out and collect cane toads.
Yep.
And make...
they had to make little, they call them dioramas, little scenes with their cane toads. So they have to. There was one that was done up as Mad Max on a little toy motorbike, and
that's right.
There was Beauty and the Beast. So there's one dressed up as the Beast. I mean, it's pretty confronting for people that don't like that kind of thing, but it was hilarious.
It's the novelty factor, isn't it?
Yeah.
And one kid came up and he had a Krispy Kreme box.
Oh, that's right.
With a clear top. And he'd actually put 6 cane toads in this box and put icing and stuff and
He's
sprinkles on
decorated
top.
his cane toads.
It's like, this is just epic. Like, the country sense of humour was just epic. Like, best pub I've been to in years.
Yeah.
But the feeling of community was enormous.
Oh, it was
so
huge.
everybody from town was there that night.
Yeah.
All the kids were there. They had a blow-up movie screen for the kids, so there was stuff for them to do.
Yeah.
The food, they had a smoker going with full pigs on it. There was live music all night. Just a real community. Everyone gets involved, and these guys bringing in their pigs for the whole afternoon just come so you can go out and stand and watch the weigh-in, or you can just sit in the pub and have a feed and talk to your mates and
have a few drinks.
Yeah.
And
I was talking to one of the boys that was doing the weigh-ups, and I said, hey, mate, what's the chance of getting one of the jaws out of these pigs?
Yep.
And he's like, I said, look, we're up from Melbourne. We're doing a trip just under York. We're coming back, blah, blah, blah. He's like, come and see me in 10 minutes. Sure enough.
That's 2 jaws sitting there.
We managed to bring home 2.
Sorry about the dog.
Excuse
in the
dog.
Yeah, we got 2 jaws.
It's an amazing set of hooks on them, isn't there?
Just phenomenal. So bear with me for a minute. I'll just grab this jaw.
Yep.
I can't believe how big the hooks are when they come out of the jaw.
Now, when we're saying hooks, we're talking about the bottom teeth.
They're the big ones that stick outside their mouths.
The tusks,
The tusks, yeah. Even for the smaller pigs, how big the tusks were just blows my mind.
Yep. They are definitely something that can inflict some damage.
Dude, they are just insane. Like, it goes like a third of the way up their jaw. That's what blew me away the most. These boys were quite happy to do whatever they did.
Yep.
They're sponsored by one of the bin companies up there, so they weigh them up. They might pull a jaw. If it's the biggest one, they pull the jaw.
Yep.
But, yeah, every man, dog, child goes out, chases pigs for the night, comes back in the morning, starts weighing in at about 9 o'clock in the morning, and it runs till about 4 in the afternoon.
Big day.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. But you'll get 1 or 2 blokes that turn up with massive, massive sows. Mm-hmm. And then there might be someone else that turns up. One bloke had 30. 30 on a trailer. But the controversy...
In the hot Queensland sun.
The controversy
delicious.
behind it was he'd had a horse that died a couple of days earlier. He set it up in a paddock, and when they came out under night vision, shot 30 of them.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Unfortunately, they're a pest.
Oh, absolutely.
And if there's a lot of control methods. There's a lot of people that do that sort of stuff to guide people on
100%.
them, and they pay for that.
The one thing that blew me away about the night at Weeper, at the pub, not one security guard to be seen.
Yep.
And the place had a good few hundred people there.
Yep.
Not a security guard to be seen.
I think when you can incorporate something like that benefits the environment, and you know you've got primary production up that way, they run a lot of cattle, so
That's huge up
yeah,
that way.
you're wanting to be protecting your livestock. Mm-hmm. If you can incorporate that kind of environmental stuff with the community, and everyone's on the same page, it just brings everyone together. And you can't deny, Drew, when we were there, you couldn't deny that everyone was just having the best time.
100%.
Opinions were out the window. Nobody cared what anyone else thought,
People
and it
would
was
have
just
policed
getting along.
themselves.
You know,
That's the other
Yep.
thing. They would have policed themselves with
Yep.
it. Mate, you've had a few. Gave us snooze.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
done.
We had a bloke turned up. He was pretty much just past half cut.
Yep.
And we had a table to ourselves for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. he comes over, sits at the table, and we'd gone off to look at the pigs again, come back, and he's sitting in our spots, and we all sit down, and he's like,
Good
"Hey,
work, Sheldon Cooper.
how you going, mate?" And I'm like, "Yeah, good, mate, how you going?" He goes, "Good." And he almost fell off the chair, and I'm like, "Yeah, right." I said, "Listen, mate, just got the family coming back in a minute." And he's like, "Oh, no, sorry, man. And like 4 or 5 times he came back up to me to apologise that he'd taken our spot. And I'm like, that would not happen in Melbourne. And I said that to him. He goes, "Oh, you're from Melbourne?" I said, "Yeah." Spent another 20 minutes talking to the bloke.
Yep.
I said, "Yeah, in Melbourne, you and I would have been going toe to toe because I asked you, can we grab our seat back?" And he's like, "No, it doesn't happen. If you're up here, mate, it's all good." I'm like, "Yep, cool as. No good tattooist." No, not up here. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Weeper left a massive impression on us.
It's one thing that you've both
was
talked
incredible.
about, like you mentioned to me before the podcast.
Yep.
Going to this thing and
Yep.
how, as much as it's just a pig hunting competition, it's bigger than that up there.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
like you've said,
Yep.
it brings everybody into town.
It was
Everybody's
100%
at the pub
about
for
community.
The dinner. Everybody's involved in it.
Yep.
When you're in places like that, your communities can be pretty fractured. So you're talking about a very large mining community. So you've got those people. You've got a very large Indigenous community still, and you've got a lot of tourists. And those three things can quite often not mix very well.
Yep.
But when you've got that sort of event and you've got, the local netball club and local footy club are involved, so that brings everybody together as well. It just makes the situation far more, it's easier for the community.
Yeah.
And makes everyone feel like they're part of it.
Yep.
And the Indigenous community were involved in this as well. There was good handfuls of blokes that came in. Like, 5 or 6 blokes jump out of a twin cab. You're like, "Well, what happened there, boys?" And they're like, "Hey, we got pigs." And everyone knew everyone.
Yep.
There was no issue. And they're driving 79 series as well. And you're like, "Yep, sweet as. You boys are out there doing what you want to do."
That's right.
So it completely different mind frame, Indigenous community in the country compared to Melbourne. That was information that blew my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to let the listeners know I've bounced forwards in probably asking questions here because we were discussing pigs on the side of the road and I'm looking at the pig jaw, so I brought that up. Right, so what was the other parts? If you had to do it all over again,
Oh, gosh.
what would you change?
I personally don't think I would change anything. I would just change the destinations. So obviously we've seen the bits we've seen. We've only scratched the surface.
Yep.
That's probably it. But we took the basic tourist route.
Yes,
Did
the most
the
travelled.
iconic.
The tally track?
We did.
You did
Yep.
the tally track.
Telly up.
Yep.
And I think for me that was the most important thing. If we're going to go all that way, you do the iconic things because we may never get back again.
Yep.
So you do the bits that all the tourists do, and while it might be a bit busier and, it's the road most travelled, it's the things you see and the things you've seen that make you want to go.
Yep.
So all the way to the tip, Punsam Bay Caravan Park, the Telly Track,
Palm
the
Creek.
Fruitbat Falls, maybe not Palm Creek quite so much, but I'm
Wouldn't
sure
do
we'll
that
touch
again.
on that again.
Wouldn't do that again, I hear.
Nah, we took the chicken track.
We actually, we chicken tracked a few of them, but not all of them.
Hey, that's how you get to and from the Cape.
Well, we took our daily drive, so we couldn't come back and have it broken into a million pieces.
Well, that's the other part to it. A lot of them,
Yeah.
there's a few mods, but there's not a lot. Mm-hmm. Having the 79 there would give you that peace of mind too that you're going to be able to get recovered.
Well,
quite easily.
he was on 36-inch tyres.
Yep.
And heavier and bigger and lifted. So he went through water crossings first.
Yep.
Twin locked the whole box and dice. That's how he bought it. He went through all the hard stuff first. So except for one he went through and didn't come out of the right way.
Whoops.
If he went through first, he could tow us out. We could winch off him X, Y, or Z.
And
So-
we'd talked about this before. We had a plan for every water crossing or everything that was going to be tricky. That was the plan. He'd go through first, we'd go through second, and then because Nemo was probably the most or the least set up of all of
I was
us.
going to say his route's fairly standard.
Yeah,
Still, so.
yeah. Although he didn't really have any problems at all.
He had zero issues.
At all. So
I did see a video of him lifting a wheel in a standard Ranger, and I thought, oh, I'm waiting for the sound of the crunch of a CV.
He, that video that I showed you of him doing that, he was still in two-wheel drive.
Yep.
He completely forgot to switch over to four-wheel drive, so he's lifted the wheel and back down again.
Yep.
Tried a different way. Oh, stink, four-wheel drive, bang, straight
Straight
through.
out.
Yeah.
But some of those washouts, you're talking, could have been anything from 200 mil to a metre dropout. So you picked your lines. It was full on, but it was fun.
Yep.
Next question, sir.
Next question. Well, I was going to ask about your favourite stop or being at the pub or a landmark or something along those lines, but we have talked about Weeper.
There's actually quite a
Was there one
few.
that topped it?
Look, for me, the trip was full of highlights. Like, first night out of Wodonga, we stayed at Wodonga first night. Second night, we stayed at Bathurst. But we made a point of going to the top of Mount Panorama for sunrise. That was...
And freezing your backside off.
It was pretty cold.
But driving up the hill, we're like, oh, this is going to be shocking, no good, full of cloud. We're not going to see squat. Viv took the drone with her as well. Got up the top, we're on top of the clouds.
Yep.
Insane.
The sun was bright, shining in the sky, clouds down below us, freezing cold. It was one of those moments you just go,
It was worth
that's
it.
great.
It was legit photographic insanity.
Yep.
You couldn't even reproduce it. I don't care how good AI is now. You couldn't reproduce that.
Yeah.
It was that good. It had emotion. There you go.
And see, that wasn't even at the Cape yet.
No, we were
wasn't
one
even
day out of Melbourne.
yet.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
it. That's it. So for me, Bathurst, staying at Longreach, sun go down at night. There was photos of that.
Which
Where
I'm hitting
else?
them all up for, listeners, so we can share some of those photos.
100%.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some photos to follow. I have probably 4 favourite spots, all for very different reasons. Longreach, there was something about Longreach that just cemented itself in my heart.
The township itself.
Yeah,
Yep.
And the place we stayed, we managed to. It was one of those hip camps that I talked about. It was a cattle station, and he'd converted his old hay shed, taken all the walls and everything off it, so it was just a massive roof, and he'd had 8 spots, caravan spots, all with power, under this massive roof.
Yep.
And for the first night, we were the only ones there. So they lived on the property, but you're talking about 20,000 acres, so he was nowhere to be seen. Facilities, the whole box and dice. But the
Toilets,
township
showers.
itself, everything about Longreach just, for some reason, cemented itself in my heart. And it's somewhere that we will definitely go back to to spend a bit of time. The tip itself, definitely up there.
Standing against that iconic sign.
Yeah, just and that itself had emotion to it, like Drew just said. But you've made it. You've achieved that.
You've done
the goal.
what you set out to.
Yeah.
Yep.
They've actually changed the sign now, too.
Yeah, there is a new sign
I did just
up.
see that recently.
We actually discovered about 2 weeks after we'd been there, someone went out and shot the sign.
That's right.
But yeah, they've replaced it completely now. So I wonder how long it'll be before someone else shoots it.
I think they worked out the dates. It was like 2 days after we were there.
Yeah.
Yep.
People looking at their photos of when they put them up. And, someone had shot out the sign 2 days after we were there.
I know there was 2 bullet holes in one side of it.
It's been there before.
Yeah.
But they replaced the sign several years ago and it hadn't happened.
Okay.
But yeah, just after we'd been. Back to favourite spots, probably the campsite. I call it Urimbula, but everyone keeps telling me it's Urimbula.
Isn't Marimbula in New South?
not Merimbula. Just out of Bundaberg.
Yep.
North of Bundaberg from memory. That was a free camp. You had to register and get permits to camp. Drop toilets, only facilities, but you're right on the beach.
Yep.
And I'm talking about a beach that goes forever.
Were there many of those sorts of spots when you were saying your free camps that you still need to get your permits and have that pre-booking side of things?
Definitely up on the Cape,
Yep.
100%. And a lot of your camping is covered by your ticket at the Jardine Ferry when you cross the Jardine River.
Yep.
So you buy your ticket and that gives you access to a lot of camping, but you still need to register. So
That's your permit to get on the...
Yeah, in this...
Onto the Cape.
In my travel Bible that I've got here, there's permits for all sorts of stuff, and you've got to display them in your car window while you're up there.
So what's the cost just of the Jardine Ferry?
We went across at $168 from memory. It's now, I think, something more like 180 something. Now you're talking about a 5-minute crossing.
It took longer to drive on the ferry than it did to cross the river.
But
but you're not crossing that river without it.
You
know,
wouldn't
you
get
can.
any.
You can.
Well,
You can?
Certain time of the year.
Would you have done it?
Oh, hell no.
not a
Well,
chance.
there you go. So it was a good
We'd have had oars out the
$168.
windows and trying to paddle across.
Well, another oar out the window too, probably trying to push the crocs away.
Yes, true.
Yep.
There's a lot of that fee goes to the Indigenous community, and they run it. They
Yep.
run the ferry, and then it also covers your camping in a lot of the sites up there. So
Which also goes towards facilities management
Yeah,
and stuff
absolutely.
like that, which is...
Well, it maintains the ferry.
Well, it maintains the ferry, it maintains
employs.
your campgrounds and
Yeah.
and alike. So it's money that you're investing in the area that you're going on your trip.
100%. That's what it costs.
there's
You
a
pay it.
lot of conjecture about how much it costs. There's a lot of people think it's ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous. But I think when you do a trip like that, those kind of things are part and parcel of going. So you go knowing that it's going to cost you that much.
So you were able to find that pricing prior to going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And all these campsites and things that we booked were all booked months in advance.
Yep.
Months and months. And in all honesty, if anyone's ever thinking about doing a trip like that, you do need to start booking 12 months out.
Yep.
And the hard part too, you found there was a lot of places that, because they were seasonal, wouldn't take phone calls,
They're not
never answered
contactable. Yep.
emails, all this kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Because through
you'd,
the wet, a lot of people leave.
you'd throw an inquiry in and you go, oh, yeah, because, you know, local time around here, you throw an email, you expect one within 24 hours kind of thing. No, it could be a month and a half later. They
Yeah.
go,
People from
got your
Melbourne are
email.
just demanding, aren't they?
We are, damn it.
No, I mean, it's... Yeah, this is the insane part about it that people don't think about until
Yeah.
they start looking at doing it.
Correct.
Like,
There's a lot of people that wing it.
yeah,
We're still on Cape York pages, still, because it left a mark on our hearts. We're still interested.
you'd be able to pass on information to other people
Yeah.
that are asking
Yep.
about doing what you guys have already done.
100%.
Absolutely.
But we'd just be one of 100 people that answer, hey, I want to do Cape York in August next year, blah, blah, blah. What if?
Pack your swimmers, yeah.
Pack your swimmers and hopefully an oar and a winch, and you
Yeah.
might be right.
But
So-
you know, it's you become a subject matter expert to some degree because you've been there, you've done all the planning, you've done all the driving,
Yes.
you got there and back.
The beauty of running Cape York, they get the big wet. At one point, I think I got told they had 2 metres of rain last wet season, last year. It was around that, 1.9, 2 metres of rainfall, right?
Yep.
Every track changes every year. You could go there year after year after year after year, and the track's completely different. Because it washes that hard and fast, it changes the landscape.
Changes and moves all the sand and
100%.
stuff in every crossing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's-
It's insane. Like when we went up there, there's one called Nolan's Brook. We stopped at Nolan's and we were able to swing from a tree. There was a whole heap of ropes hanging from the tree, and the girls were swinging off it. We're swinging off
That's
it.
what they tie the crocodile bait to as they say.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Across the water, and yeah, the water was that clear. It was like straight out of your tap.
Yeah.
It was incredible. We went up there. Yeah, the ropes were there. Seen a couple of videos 1 or 2 years after. Tree's gone.
The tree fell. The little island that it was on was washed away, and so that's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Where Nolan's used to be, there was like 3 entrances when we were there, 3 or 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 on
Yeah.
the far left, yeah. You look at previous videos from previous years, there was only 2 entrances, and it was splash in, splash out.
That's not the one that's got the little island that you see the two guys on the motorbikes
that's the
That's
one.
the one.
jump and
Yep.
skip across. So
Yep.
that's
Yep.
Nolan's.
Well,
Okay.
that where they jumped that.
Yep, that island is the one you were
second
talking
island,
about.
there was a tree there.
Yep.
Another probably 1.5 metres, 2 metres in front of that.
Yep.
And everyone was swinging off that. And yeah, the boys went up there the first time, and I think the tree was still there. The main videos that have gone around. Now, the next video that's gone around, there's no tree. So they jump the gap, hit the second one flat stick,
And bounce
and
it.
hopefully make it out the
Yeah,
other
it's
side.
some impressive videos watching those guys
absolutely.
on their big bikes having a crack.
Absolutely.
We passed, I think, 2 bike tours up there, or they passed us, I should say.
Well, we had the one, where were we camping with all the potholes and the rocks?
Victoria. Sounds like Victoria.
When
Birdie Creek.
Yeah, Birdie Creek. When they came through the next morning, they tore that up pretty hard. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But my brother-in-law, he's looked at doing those sorts of bike tours as well.
I think it'd be awesome.
I've said to him, you may as well, mate. Imagine the trip for what it is.
Oh, if you've got the
You'd-
opportunity,
And
hands
you
down.
start with a bunch of blokes that you don't know, and by the end of it, you probably end up with lifetime long friends out of it.
Physically so demanding,
Yeah.
You know, we'd see them get off their bikes at the end of the day and they're so spent.
Yeah.
They can barely walk and they're covered in red dirt. There's a little bit of their helmet that you can see. They've got this red face and the rest of it's all clear. But, yeah, they were just knackered at the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh, he took his big enduro bike and went for a ride. And I remember talking with him while he was out, and he was up near Broken Hill or something along those lines.
Yep.
He took his drone, hoping to get his drone up and spot lock to record him and fly behind him as he was riding. Couldn't get it to sync. But all the battery gear and the drone itself, the amount of weight went into burning fuel.
Yeah.
So he actually mailed it home from up there to save himself fuel. And he went right up through the centre and then out across to Queensland and
That's crazy.
back down on just an enduro bike. So, yeah. If you ask the girls where their favourite place was,
Oh, gosh.
what would they say?
Punsan.
Probably Punsan. We ended up spending about a week at Punsan, which is the caravan park right at the very top.
Yep. The last caravan park before the Cape itself.
Yeah, so it was about a half an hour drive from the caravan park out to the very tip.
Yep.
Pajinka, as they call it, as its Indigenous name. And you get there, and there's a beautiful beach, and you can walk along one way if you're game. I don't know that... We dipped our toe in the water, but that was as close as we got. And then it's actually a decent 10-minute hike up over this big rocky outcrop and down the other side to this tiny little tip, and it was not what I was expecting at all.
Yep.
Big pictures you see, you think it's this
big-
low, flat, outcrop of rocks with rock pools probably, and no, it's a bit that's probably about 2 metres square if you're lucky.
And you look out and go, is that bit a bit further north than we are?
There's
Well, you
islands
actually
straight off the tip.
Climb the rocks, you're going across the top, and then it starts coming down again, and then just as you get to the end of the rocks, it sort of flattens out.
Yeah.
Like the tide actually gets above where the sign is.
Yeah.
So if you've got to get it towards like half tide to low tide to be able to actually stand next to the sign. Otherwise, you're waist deep in water.
I was really surprised. It just wasn't what I was expecting at all. I mean, it's great. You don't ever question it, but
Yep.
I was expecting it to look very different to what it did. And I certainly was not expecting the hike in 30-something degrees with
It was
90%
more than a 10-minute
humidity.
hike.
More than 10 minutes, you reckon?
It would have been about a 20-minute hike.
Yeah,
I reckon.
rightio. And we stupidly went up one way and decided to try and come back another way, which supposedly was easier. It was not easier.
That's called being adventurous, Viv.
Oh, geez.
It was definitely adventurous.
Yeah.
One eye on the hike and one eye out in the water looking for crocs.
Well,
you
I
know?
was going to say, the risk up there is fairly sedate, isn't it?
Nope.
No, it's still quite high. I thought all the little
It
creeks.
always exists.
Oh, it always exists. That's correct. but
Jem and I got stalked at Punsan.
The beach just around from Punsan, yeah.
You come out of the caravan park, you go left onto the beach, and signs everywhere: do not swim, crocs, blah blah
Yep.
blah. The bar will tell you they've got a local croc there, and
Yep.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, something like Harold or something like that.
Norman, Harold, something like that. We went round, and I'm casting in the water, going, "Yeah, this is cool." And I saw a black shadow in the water, and I was probably 2 metres off the water, thinking, "Oh yeah, whatever." I said to Jem, "Did you see that?" And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "Did it have a fin or did it look like a log?" She goes, "I'm sure it had a fin." And then about 30 metres in front of me, just before I could move, I saw this log come up out of the water again, and it was coming at us. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll walk back up the beach. And it came up 10 metres in front of us. And just sat there looking at me. You saw the eyes pop up, and I'm like, nope, we'll just reel in from here. And we walked along the beach, and we were probably 20, 30 metres off the water. And sure enough, it's scoping us. He was probably 10 metres from the water's edge.
just skirting you the whole time.
Just
Yeah.
watching us the whole way around, walked around the rocks, the whole lot, disappeared.
Yep.
He zeroed in on me.
I've seen some clips of blokes fishing up that way,
Yeah.
and they're climbing out on logs.
Yeah.
Theoretically, up off the water's level logs.
Yep.
But there's still some logs in the water beneath, and it's still clear enough to look.
Yep.
Old mate's casting lures, and he just goes, "Hey, Dale, have a look at what's below me here."
Uh-huh.
And she looks down, and this big salty has just come straight up
Yep.
underneath him,
Pardon me for that.
and it's sitting there, and he didn't even know he'd snuck in there.
No.
So
They're extremely good at
they are an apex predator for a reason.
being so still. The stillness is the bit that gets me. They can just float under that water holding their breath for hours.
Yeah.
I
I don't know
was...
whether sharks or crocs are at the top of the food chain.
I was devastated that we didn't get to see one, like, properly in the wild. We heard them at night. We heard the babies, their little squeaky. And I think we shone the torch into the river a couple of times and you could see their eyes.
Pink eyes.
You could see the eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to see a croc in the wild. So that on its own gives me my one and only reason to go back.
So that was like me in Tassie. All I wanted to do was see a Tassie devil or a spotted quail.
Yeah.
I got to tick off the spotted quail, didn't get to see the Tassie devil.
Yeah, that was my top of my list, was to see a croc. But like I said, we'll have to go back.
Where would you rate the helicopter flight?
Well, you see, that's
Helicopter
very
flight.
different. Yeah, I was lucky enough, Sash and I and Phil that came with us and his son, took a helicopter flight out from Punsan Bay, and that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Out over the coast.
Out
around
over the
a couple
water,
of
out over the little islands, yep.
And you see any of the reef or anything like that?
Not from up there, no. We didn't go off the east coast. We were sort of straight out from the tip and we headed west a little bit.
Yep,
so out down more towards
into the
the
Gulf.
Gulf, yeah.
Yep.
But just fantastic. The kids in the back, the two of them, 9 years old, sharing a seat in the back. They were small enough to both share. They had the seatbelt around them both, and they rock, paper, scissored for who got the window, who got the side.
Yep.
There's no doors on the thing, so it was just an open helicopter. And Sasha, our daughter, got the outside, and she was stoked. She just thought it was the best thing ever.
Until they tilted sideways once.
Loved it. Loved it. She's got her foot right on the edge of the door. She's got her head leaning out over the side to see the view.
Fantastic.
Absolutely loved it.
She rocked it big time.
Yeah. Rightio. Another question aimed at both of you.
Oh, here we go.
Now I'm wanting 3 answers out of each.
Oh, gosh.
Stink.
Lucky I'm not a school teacher. I'm not grading this stuff.
A+.
So if you were chatting to someone planning to do the trip, what are your 3 must-sees? Come on, you drove from the bottom of Australia to the top. There's got to be
must-sees.
3 must-sees
You go
each along
first,
that
Drew.
way.
Oh, stink.
Give me time to think about it.
The view,
The view.
the money I spent on fuel,
No, that's all planning.
and coming home. There you go.
They're not must-sees.
No. Must see. I don't know if it's still open, but I'd say the Lithgow Firearms Museum
Yep.
is one of my must-sees.
For people like us that like the bang sticks, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's definitely the...
With the Punsan Bay, the tip, the sign, that holds significance for me anyway. And a third must-see. I look, hard part, I enjoyed it all. But sunrise at Bathurst, I enjoyed sitting around with the cook at Mission Beach, going down to the Lifesaving Club, the beaches at Mission Beach, sensational. Third must-see, Fruitbat Falls.
Fruitbat Falls.
Correct.
What was so impressive about Fruitbat Falls?
Middle of nowhere, down a dirt road. You're legitimately in the middle of nowhere, and these incredible falls you can swim in.
Yep.
Like all the waterfalls we went to were just epic.
Okay.
Literally just epic.
Yeah, there's something about swimming in a really 100% completely natural place that's as fresh as it is, and you know, it's just that was good.
Yeah.
If I had to tell you 3 spots, gosh,
Well, you do.
Longreach. As I said before, I could go on and on about Longreach till I was blue in the face. That was definitely one for me. Oh gosh, where else? The remoteness, I think, and this is not one particular place, but the remote areas that we drove through. So driving from Longreach out to Mission Beach, we drove through some of the most arid, desolate, dead, what you would think is dead land.
Yep.
Thick black soil, and people are running cattle out on that.
And that's that thick black soil you don't want to break through the crust.
No.
Yep.
No. And every now and again you'll see some Brahman, you'll see some, maybe a Brumby or 2, goats. But other than that, there is literally nothing there.
So only introduced animals we're seeing.
Well, yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Emus and kangaroos occasionally. But that was one thing I noticed, and I'm just going to veer off the track just for a minute. When we were seeing animals at the side of the road, it was only ever one type of animal at a time. So we went through a particular area and it was goats galore.
Yep.
Right. For a good hour, I reckon, or more.
Yeah.
Then a bit further up the road, it was just emus. Again, for a period of time. A bit further, kangaroos. Like And I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these animals, not just one or two at the side of the road.
Yeah.
But they were never
all
mixed.
intermingled.
No. So and that didn't occur to me till we got home. That hang on a second, these animals are not cohabitating. They've got their own territory, and that was a surprise to me. Anyway,
so there you go. If you're driving up the Cape, if you see a kangaroo, you've just got to worry about kangaroos for the next 20 kilometres.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
And that was the other thing. Whoever was at the front had to be on the spot and just say, roos on the left, roos coming up on the right, because they're the most unpredictable ones. Them and emus. Emus are not the sharpest tools in the shed.
No, they are
See,
not.
we all have bull bars, so I'd rather tap them than when some of those roads, like coming in a Weeper, where you're holding your speed because of the vibration on the road, that you come around the corner and there'll be cows everywhere.
Yeah.
And they will not move. So you've got no choice. You either slam it or you're going around it.
I can tell you, cows aren't the smartest. Some of them are, and trust me, I've milked them for a long time.
And this is coming from the cow whisperer.
Rub that in. It is something. There are some cows that learn how to pluck that gate handle off. They're the real smart ones. And then there's some that don't see the open gate for 15 minutes.
When they're standing right in front of it.
When they're standing in front of it.
That's epic.
So I can contest the cows with being smart and not.
That's ace.
I reckon Weeper would probably be my other highly recommended. Everybody kind of wipes Weeper off because it's a mining town.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong.
Is it a fly in, fly out sort of?
Yeah, there's a
town?
lot of FIFO stuff.
Yep.
But there's a lot of them live there too. And you are presented with, red dirt everywhere and work trucks everywhere and trucks hauling stuff and ships in at the dock and all that kind of stuff. But that in itself, and I think, as I said before, when you go to these places, you know what to expect. Those are the things that interest you. We didn't do it, but there's a fantastic mine tour,
Big
apparently.
mine tours, they do run them.
And that's one thing we would do if we went back. But
were they mining coal or iron ore? Or?
I'm pretty sure it's... I don't want to go on record saying this, but I'm pretty sure it's iron ore that comes in and out of there. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong.
If we're wrong, we generally just play it by ear.
You can tell this is off the cuff because we haven't Googled it.
Yep.
Oh, no, I don't think I even Googled it at the time.
No, you didn't.
There's one of those things you go and you work out when you get there.
It's just a mining town. We went there to buy it, so...
No. But yeah, those places definitely don't avoid them.
Yeah.
So what about your other two things?
I said you just weren't listening. See, listeners, he does this podcast and he doesn't listen to what anyone's... Keep that in mind, Cam. All right?
What are we talking about again?
Are we recording?
Oh, stink, I didn't press a button. Sorry.
Now, is there anything along the way that you missed out on? That you gutted that you missed out on? Or
not gutted?
You could have just pushed an extra day out there somewhere to
get there. The Qantas Museum for me, we didn't do that. We did the Stockman's Hall of Fame in Long Range, but we didn't do the Qantas Museum, and I was a bit miffed at that.
Yeah. The Stockies Hall of Fame was actually good, but could have been better.
It probably wasn't quite what we were expecting. Again, I wouldn't say to avoid it by any means, but it wasn't quite what we were expecting.
Yeah.
Where the Qantas Museum came highly recommended.
Yeah.
To not miss it.
The only saving grace was I could see all the big planes from the road, so I still got to go and take photos next to giant jets and all that kind of stuff. You just didn't get to go in them or anything like that. Yep. So next time, yes, I would not.
Next time?
I would not, yeah.
There's a cheap date night, Drew. Just park at the end of the runway at Tullamarine.
Watch the aeroplane.
Yeah, we'll just go around the backside of it. Yep. Good point.
Good old Wayne's Wheel. Keep looking up.
There's a lot of plane wrecks up on Cape York from the war times. Yeah, a hell of a lot, and we didn't get to see any of those.
Yep.
But we literally did just scratch the surface. So time-wise, you'd be wanting to spend a hell of a lot more time up that way to do all of those kind of things.
So if you got to the start of the tally track, to the Cape, what would be your ideal time frame, allowing for that section alone?
A month.
A month?
I don't look, to be brutally honest, I don't think you'd even see 2/3 of it if you had a month up there.
Yep.
We spent 2 weeks, and it clearly wasn't enough. It was enough for what we wanted to do this time, but next time I would go hell for leather up the road to get there.
So the main thing is you keep saying next time.
Oh, there will be. 100% there will be. Whether it's in... whether it's with the kids again before they finish school or whether it's after that or whether it's on our own or with friends again.
Or the kids driving their own cars behind.
Well,
her.
you see, that's a goal
I
one day
hope so.
too. Yeah.
Absolutely hope so.
For sure.
Yeah.
Jim already wants a Patrol or a 79, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
I keep pushing the Suzuki Jimny
Oh, yeah.
just because I want one.
New one or the old one?
Oh, see, I'm
The
a
old
fan.
one you can pick up and move.
But I'd like realistically an old Sierra, a Vitara.
Yeah.
Something
gosh.
that if you flooded it in a river crossing, all you have to change in electrics-wise is the clock. You know, you can take the thing anywhere.
Blow the plugs out and off you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's the fun of it. But
Yep.
yeah, I'm winning the battle on my little girl. She really likes the Suzuki Jimny, so
Nice.
look out. You know, another thing with this whole idea, you're pre-planning all that sort of stuff. So, what sort of time of year were you planning to do it, and how'd the weather play?
Yep.
Like, were you stinking hot? Were you moderately nice weather, singlet, shorts?
It was
was-
shorts from Bathurst onwards, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. So we left at the end of August.
Yep.
And came back at the start of October. So we had 6 weeks. And it was a little bit tricky because knowing that we were starting from here and heading to, like, our first night was in Wodonga with some family.
Cold, getting
Yeah,
warm,
so we had to
warmer.
Yes.
we had to accommodate, take the right clothing
Yep.
for that kind of thing, meaning a jumper, but probably just one jumper because that would have been enough, and a pair of jeans just because you might need a pair of jeans somewhere, and probably then just t-shirts and shorts.
I'm just smiling stupidly because I've just had like an epiphany of an idea. If you're doing it, pick out your shabbiest jumper and your shabbiest pair of jeans.
Absolutely.
The pair that's about to go to the op shop,
Yep.
get so far, then donate them when you don't need them
Yeah,
anymore.
100%.
It's when you come back that it sucked because you needed them.
you
again.
need
Well,
them then.
Yeah.
And you know what? When we came back through, one of our last places to stop was the Blue Mountains, and it was
Blue
freezing.
Mountains are cold.
It was freezing and wet and miserable. So, yeah, the long pants and the long sleeve tops came in handy then.
Yep.
But we had a couple of the little zip-up canvas clear-top bags from King's. We had 2 of those each.
Drew has preached about them previously.
It was the best thing we could have done because it made you minimise your stuff, really.
Yep.
And they were great for keeping the clothes clean, and we didn't have any problems with dust or anything like that.
Not in the canopy, no.
But you had to really...
Think about
Yeah.
what you're packing.
Yep, and as an adult, and as some women probably would understand, it's difficult to really minimise what you're taking on a holiday. It can be.
What do you mean? You get 4 days out of one pair of boxer shorts?
No.
On, backwards, inside out.
yeah.
Inside
You
out.
get 7
Yeah.
days without them, though.
Yeah.
7 days without them, yeah.
That's it.
And we also had to make sure we had enough between stops where we could wash clothes. So those things all played into it, but...
They're the small things that you don't even really think about, though,
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did you go about doing your laundry?
Well, we managed to get... I think the longest we went between places with washing machines was about 4 or 5 days.
Yep.
So we just always had to have enough pairs of clothes for that.
But we planned in there to stop at a couple of caravan parks along the way that we could actually get under the car and have a look, keep it spanner tight.
Yeah.
We could do the clothes. We could load up again on food.
Have a proper shower.
Yeah.
Have a decent shower, stuff like that. Make sure, because we had the girls. I mean, it was Viv and I, you wouldn't give a hoot. But
Yeah.
we just tried to do the right thing by everybody.
Well, that's it. It comes down to keeping everybody happy and comfortable.
Yeah, 100%. Comfortable, 100%.
Yeah, and
that's what it was about.
I'm tipping the AC would have got a fair workout too.
Yep.
I
Yep.
tried to hang off on that for as
Yeah.
long as I could, and I think I got about 4 days in, and Viv's like, can we turn the aircon on? I'm like, oh, it's going to kill the fuel economy.
Oh,
Yeah.
you weren't the
right.
one keeping the numbers anyway. You were just burning it.
I know, right?
That time of year is the perfect time to go from sort of, they say any time from now onwards, so June, July-ish onwards. But we wanted to sort of push it as far as we could towards the end of the season, knowing that the rivers would be down and the crossings would be easier, and everyone has already been through, so the tracks are worn.
Yeah. Those crossings have got a hard base to them to
Yeah.
a degree. And
Yeah, and that worked in our favour. We didn't have any problems with that. Humidity was a killer, but that's North Queensland. You just deal with that.
Yep.
But I don't think we had any days sort of over 30, 32, like very bearable.
Yep.
Very bearable weather. Beautiful T-shirts and shorts weather that just made the whole thing even better.
Well, my son's idea of t-shirts and shorts weather is minus degrees because he's still rocking them even though in
Yeah.
the middle of winter in Gippsland.
Yep.
But
Gotta love it.
Mate, it's what kids do, isn't it? So
It was perfect weather because we did get to swim in a couple of rivers. Going to the falls wasn't cold.
Yep. It gives you that wash and sort of revigorates you a bit too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. And I think the places we stopped just out of Bundaberg, the beaches there was one caravan park that is right on the river estuary at the... Or it's not actually a river estuary. It's a bit like the Gippsland Lakes where you've got water behind the beach. So,
Yep. Yeah, it's an estuary system.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was beautiful. You could walk along the beach there and not have any worry. Get your feet in the water, do a bit of fishing. Sun's beating down. It's beautiful.
You've said Bundaberg a fair few times, and me being a fine connoisseur, tell me you stopped and did the tour.
Of course we did.
At the distillery?
Of course we did.
Yeah.
Drew actually was the lucky recipient of a...
Brew your own?
Yeah, he got, for his birthday just before we left, he got given a brew your own experience at Bundaberg Distillery.
That would have been a fun day.
It was quite interesting, to be honest.
Yep.
The barrel room that we went into was just incredible. It's all half barrels, but the way they've made it up, the massive teak tables and chairs and tastings and this and that, and ended up you can make your own two. You make two of your own branded bottles, but you go by your own taste buds. So it's different bundies that have been aged in like an American oak or like a Scottish barrel,
whiskey barrels.
or all different types,
Yep.
or a brandy one, and you go by flavours and you make it up in this little bottle, and that's how you break.
You got the little squeezy pipettes where you drop it in and change the flavours.
And so it's a full-blown busy day that I'm tipping you had to drive the rest of the day for, Viv.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, I was Desi that day. Yes.
Made two bottles up.
Yep.
And I called them Cape York 2023.
Yep.
20.
Yeah, 23. Yep.
As he looks at the bottle on the bar.
The one that's empty. We've got one
The
that
one
will be
that's empty.
kept. They actually keep your recipe on the back of the bottle.
Yep.
And you can reorder
I'm
it.
showing Cameron the bottle now.
Well, make sure we get a photo of this and put this up on the socials.
And that's how it breaks down. On the back.
Okay. Sherry bottle, sherry barrel, port barrel, bourbon barrel, Scotch barrel, heavy charred, and American oak. Interesting.
So they keep your recipe on file and you can order that again at any time. Your specific blend.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. So the distillery itself, would be on the list of things to go to if you're that kind of person.
Yeah. And you'd give, half a day? Depends if you're driving or not.
I think the tour itself was only an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. And Drew's tasting experience, not the tasting experience, your
Blend your own
experience, I think was about an hour on the end of the tour.
Yep.
So, but they've got a little bar and a cafe there you can go. They've got a massive gift shop, which of course you have to exit through the gift shop. So that's always fun.
We always funnel you through the money spending
That's
pit.
it.
Yes.
So we just sat and waited for him while he did his thing, and it didn't take too long.
I know when my parents went through there, I requested a bottle of the coffee liqueur, and I still just knock it open every so often and just take a little bit off the top.
What's the one you got, Viv, that was
Banana toffee.
Oh, yeah.
Banana toffee. I had the Rumball one. That was delicious.
Rumball's just as good.
They pour it for you in a with some ice cubes and cream. The banana toffee one with some. It was just delicious.
Amazing.
Delicious. So
This is something that I think we've just scratched the surface on, to be honest, because it's an amazing trip that you were able to do. And I remember watching it slowly unwind on social media, and
we're teasing everybody with the pictures.
If we can get a few photos and some videos up,
For sure.
We'll just trickle feed them in, even just because I know half of them are sort of the places I look at and go, I wouldn't mind being there one day.
One day.
It's even in one night. Talking about it, you remember something little here or there. Even to the point I was going to say earlier, we had no flat tyres, no breakages except for Phil's alternator.
Yep, but that was self-inflicted.
Land Cruisers are renowned for alternators, though, as well.
But I'd love to talk more about this. Absolutely, we've got hours worth of information to share with anybody. If anyone wants to know more about it, feel free to contact us. Yeah,
message us on the social media. So your questions. And we can try and bring them up in another episode later on.
What's our social media, Cameron?
So we're Get Outdoors with Drew and Cam
on
Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
So we're trying to keep them very current and post daily. May it be just a little chuckle. Today, I think we've posted a frog splattering on a wall.
Well, that was in the shower block in Weeper. Weeper, Punsand.
Yeah.
I went to take a shower and found that I had a friend with me and thought I'd just wait till he vacated.
He was chasing a massive bug.
He
in the
was
corner
chasing
there,
a
wasn't he?
massive grasshopper type thing.
That's
and
right.
I think it was breakfast for him. So
Tell you what, he committed to that flying leap. The video that we've put up on Instagram and
You
Facebook.
hear the slap on the
It
wall.
is a big slap when he hits that wall. And you look at him and you pan across to him in the video, the slap and how he lands,
Yep.
Yeah.
it all marries up. It's almost
100%.
cartoonish.
Yeah.
Well, yet again, I'm going to thank you, Viv,
No
for coming
worries.
in on this. Thank you, Drew, yet again.
No more.
And I guess we'll wrap it up there and call it for another one.
Absolutely. We'd like to thank everyone that listens. Please check out our socials. And as always,
Check on your mates.
check on your mates.
Cheers all.
Cheers all.